Good morning and welcome to ATI Pro Media, powered by Advanced Trading. Interesting day developing. Maybe not the day you want, but it's the day you're going to get. Nonetheless, we're going to take a look at the markets. Brady Huck is co hosting. I do see some green shoots of optimism here when you look at, say, like a market like spring wheat or anything else. Had a great night with the family last night, came in late, sat down on the couch, watched JD Vance give his speech, call it, and different guy than I thought. Interesting. I mean, flat out said, his mom was a drug user, was raised by his grandma, and his wife is gave a speech. But of all the things last night that I enjoyed the most was the clip of President Trump's granddaughter talking about her grandpa. And the funny part was he calls her at school, and she's like, "Okay, I need to go. I'm at school." And you forget sometimes these people that they're human, that they're fathers, grandfathers, husbands, wives, everything else. But some interesting things. On a conspiracy note, there were some very interesting things that happened in a few select stocks before the assassination attempt. You can Google those. I don't want to start any rumors, but these things really did happen, very much similar to things that happened at 9/11. So if you knew before 9/11 something bad was going to happen in the airline business, what stocks would you short if you thought something bad was going to happen in the political business? You can go look up those trades. I can tell you the reaction to those trades on Monday was amazing. Fascinated by all markets all the time. For all reasons, I have to say, living through 9/11 was a wild time to be involved in markets. Politically, it does look like things are changing. There's some big things brewing here on the before the DNC convention, it looks like. And I'm going to talk to Don Wick this afternoon on premium content and get his view. He's extremely tied into DC and understands all the names. Anyway, if you missed any of these clips, watch them. If you don't want to watch them, then don't. I had a couple comments and said, I watched the show for the markets. I don't want to talk politics. Take a step back there, fella. If you don't think politics is affecting what happens in the markets, then you got the wrong channel. All right, let's take LaSalle Street and we'll go from there. D's corn down 4, SEP soybeans down 4, no beans down 5, meal down a tick, soybean oil down 20, wheat, Board of Trade wheat up 4, KC up 7. Ring the bell. Hard red spring wheat. Shout out to all the good boys and girls up in North Dakota, Minnesota, and Canada. Up 15. I'm liking it. A little different looking at cattle. Live cattle down 12. Feeder cattle down 20. Hogs down 30. They've had a heck of a run. I think Brady Huck will have a little color on the meat sector. Outside markets moving to Wall Street. Gold up 8. Silver up 20. Moving to the bond market. 2s, 5s, 10s, 30s. All lower. Interest rates lightly going up. Still have some good rate cuts allegedly coming later in the year. I do believe that'll happen. Natural gas. Remember, we're talking about natural gas up 50. Natural gas traded below, call it 2000. Definitely a value there. I'm very interested. If you're out there, are you shocked at how much fertilizer prices are next year versus the price of corn? Give us a call, text us about that. Info at ATI Pro Media or call 1-855-737-FARM. Okay, moving over to Wall Street still. Dow Jones. I'm not done. Dow Jones up 100, NASDAQ up 70, S&P up 16, Bitcoin pretty much unchanged, Dr. Copper down 10. Interesting day yesterday. I lost money trading the stock indices. Now you could put the picture on me. I lost money selling the Dow Jones up 600 and buying the NASDAQ down 550. And I got to be honest with you, that's one of the greatest rotations I've experienced with that much of a sell-off in one market and new all-time highs the other. People are rotating out of that. Brady and I are going to check out our friend Kenny Paul Carey. You might know Kenny from Fox News and the Cow Guy and anything else. He was a floor trader, has his own podcast. Check that out. We need to go back and look at that episode. All right, bring him in the show, Mr. Brady Huck. B. Huck. I do have to tell you, when I was out last night, I was behaved. But you know what song came on the old jukebox when I was out here at the little restaurant in Valpo? Is called Tommy B's. I can't make this stuff up.
Yeah. Well, what song was it, Tommy?
Should have been a cowboy came on. I was the only one laughing, and no one knew why the heck.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of you. Now, I did not participate in adult beverages, went to bed early and feel great. The rest of the family, I can't speak for them, but they look a little rough.
It's good to be a responsible one, Tommy G. Thanks for stepping up to the plate.
It was fun to watch them all come downstairs and say to all of them, "You have a problem." So,
you guys have a problem.
Yeah, see you at the 9 a.m. meeting. All right, speaking of meetings, this is a 9 a.m. meeting. We do this every day, all day. And if you ever miss the content, you can catch it on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and Acres TV. what do you have for us? Because I don't have like a great show. I know people talk the SAF, and we got some huge exports, but I, if every day's not crazy exciting, I'm like, oh, this is going to be boring.
It
Give me,
is. Brother Joe down below, when I got on this morning, he said, it's like Groundhog Day, Brady. We go up, we go down. I wake up, it's the same thing over and over here, looking at these markets and, beans pushing a little lower. And you got some fills on some puts rolling down, this or that. But yeah, wheat is the shining light, though, right now, bouncing back. I got some wheat, KC wheat markets going above put strikes that I'm at. I got some 560 puts on, and we're at 568. That's great to see, Tommy G.
Mhm.
But from a show perspective, I think the big headline here is the flash sale to unknown, 510,000 metric tons of beans to unknown. Great to see that on the books. If I was going to be a Debbie Downer, I'd highlight that if you look at the export book of beans for next year, we're still about 50% of where we were a year ago. So I'm not getting too excited yet, but low prices encouraging some business to come into the table. And that's what we want to see is those flash sales.
Yeah. And real quick reminder, I'm not afraid to tell anyone with this election close to maybe we'll call it 100 days, it's a little more. But the election 100 days away, be extremely careful with your timing of the sale and the no put. I don't even care if you're not a client. I'm telling you as a friend, get moved to a GN option so you don't have to deal with the emotion of what's
Mhm.
going on. People who have no puts, if they're not selling grain off the combine, which sometimes it takes a while to get those beans off the combine, and you hit that period where they're unprotected and they're still harvesting, and then the market breaks another 50 cents, and that no option, which should expire, call it around October 22. You guys can get me a exact date, close enough for good math here.
Yeah.
And not all my clients in North Dakota are done harvesting beans by October 22. And so we hit that time frame where there's risk. Not to mention, about 11, 12 days later, we have an election that looks to be extremely heated. So with that,
Huge. I'm doing the same thing in cattle too with LRP. We got,
explain that to
LRP.
me. I'm new
Yeah,
here.
LRP dates that expire October, right there at the 1st of November. I think we want that coverage to get us through the election. A lot of guys are weaning calves and taking them to market in September, October, November, December timeframe. And you could wean those calves and sit on them for 45 days doing the right thing. And we could have this market move because of an election or outside macro force. And you want that coverage to get you to when you're going to actually market the beans or the calves, whatever it is. Good point, Tommy.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting times here in America. I'm still amazed at what happened Saturday, and I'm amazed at how people talk about it. And it's sometimes when something happens, there's some excitement and adrenaline, and then as you sink in, days later, weeks later, you're like, "Was that a dream? Did that really happen?"
Yeah.
And the only way I really know it happened is you see that patch on the president's ear. But other than that, the energy, the how do I say it? The tone. I don't watch a lot of coverage, but I get little snippets and stuff. The
Mhm.
tone and calmness at the Republican National Convention is scary. I have never seen the Republican Party so calm, so organized, and I don't even want to throw any other adjectives in there. But when you look across the other aisle, the confusion right now on the Democratic Party with what Chuck Schumer said yesterday publicly, Nancy Pelosi, I want to say his name's Peter Schiff, if I'm saying that right. If not,
Adam, right?
Adam
Adam.
Schiff. That Peter Schiff's the economist, or Peter someone's the economist. Adam, thank you. Adam and someone else, all large political people. Then the picture of President Biden, who I'm rooting for all American presidents, walking up the stairs of Air Force One with COVID versus President Trump, who was just tried to be assassinated, just taking in the crowd. I mean, just a different energy. Uh, I'm rooting for all teams because I'm rooting for America. But
And the
as someone,
American farmer too, right? Right.
absolutely, that's who we work for, Brady. I think people think we work at Advanced Trading. We do, but we work for the American farmer. Make that perfectly clear. We work for the American farmer. Not only that, but I work for seed companies, and we're involved in other industries where people actually don't mind buying a little corn or beans a little cheaper. You want to talk about these exports because that was real nice. Or you already did that? Did
Well,
you
we
bring?
got that flash this morning, but we also had
Yeah.
the weekly export data here today. Each week we get that data dump. Wheat was a good number on the weekly export number. Corn was pretty good, but as a whole, I think we want to see more of that. When you have good supply, you need to see more exports. Great to see the flash sale come in. But yeah, we've also had a drought monitor update here today, Tommy. I want to highlight the change what
I'm
we've
thinking
seen.
that East Coast had to get better. I know there's some states down there. Our friend Luke said things are real bad down there on the parts of the East Coast. But yeah,
Mhm.
look at that.
This is the
Tennessee with some.
4-week change. So in the drought monitor status, degradation or an improvement. In Southwest Kansas, you can see a lot of green there. So over the last 4 weeks, we've had a nice change on the drought monitor there in that pocket. But the East Coast, East Tennessee, Virginia, Carolinas up there, some degradation there. But here's the actual map looking at it and highlights that the problems we have out there in the mid-Atlantic states.
Yeah, Ohio's still a problem for growers. Look at that. And I do talk about seeing things correctly.
Mhm.
After the show, I'm going to get my new glasses. But tell me if I'm seeing this right. Is that the state of Iowa with zero highs and lows on drought? I mean, is that what I'm seeing?
There's a lot of white there. I'd love to see a U.S. flood monitor. Maybe we need to pull that map up with some underwater crops and get a snap of that. But a lot of white there
Look
across
at
the
that.
Corn Belt.
Look at our ice states: Indiana, Illinois, Iowa.
Mhm.
Uh, there's
That-
that eastern drought serious. It stinks to be them. I know. It's
mhm.
always someone has a problem. Always, always, always. Someone's the last 5-10% going in. Someone lost 5% of the crop. Someone did this, but the economics of growing a crop and final yield were never based on everything being 100% perfect. We
Right.
always know you're in the I don't want to say the armpit, but that's not nice. But how would you describe the challenges where you farm? I mean, are you like like Bev
F-
in Missouri, where you're always 2 weeks away from a drought or a flood, but not really the flood. You're always 2 weeks away from a drought, right?
It's yeah, 10 days, 2 weeks away from a drought, and we're at this point in time where we need a rain that every 10 days, 2 weeks, or things start to get crispy when you have 100, 105, 110 degree temps. But
Is that
yeah,
because
fringe acres, Tommy.
yeah,
It's fringe
well, yeah.
acres.
Is that
So
because you don't have 5 feet of pure black dirt that a corn
we
plant could root down 6 feet?
We got good dirt, but I think it's more the weather pattern, how things hit us and where we're at. Yeah, but
Last question: irrigation by you. How far would someone have to dig? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet.
it varies. There's pockets where it's really shallow and the water's right there, but couple 100 feet, and then there's areas where there's not irrigation. But a lot of Kansas isn't all flat, Tommy. A lot of people think Kansas is flat because they drive across I-70, but the people who came in and built roads, they picked. They were doing some thinking and they said, "Hey, let's pick a flat spot where we don't have to do a whole lot of construction and build this road." So they drive
That's
across
interesting.
I-70 and
Yeah.
see nothing but flat. But there's some hills out here too in spots.
Well, let's get people over those hills. We have some challenges here when we look at the cattle market, but some super optimistic things happen here in hogs. Why don't you touch us on cattle? And I believe tomorrow we're going to do a double dose of premium today, but tomorrow you're going to finish up with cattle, correct?
Yep. We got a cattle on feed report Friday afternoon. Let's flash up some estimates there. The trades, penciling an average of 1.2% more cattle on feed the month of July versus a year ago. Placements being off slightly, but the marketings looking to be really dragging things down in the pace of marketings. It'll be interesting to see what gets printed. The number of imported cattle from Canada and Mexico are impacting the whole, supply of, cattle on feed and being placed across the U.S. We'll see what gets printed there, but look for some surprises. The trade has done a pretty good job of nailing these things and not getting too out of whack across the last few months. It'll be interesting to see if they get it right again here on Friday. But we'll come to a special hour and a half after the report comes out and digest and break down those numbers.
Hmm. All right. On the outside news, I watched a couple other channels today. A lot of people talking about John Deere. I don't even want to say the three initials that they're talking about. It's not what I do, right? We work for the American farmer. We help them sell grain, cattle. We help end users buy. There's some wild stuff going on outside the election. If you're interested in watching stories about that, just go on YouTube and just Google tractor supply politics, John Deere politics, and watch the people covering this. I would have never thought a company like Tractor Supply or John Deere would be so heavily covered on these stories. Now, we are not sponsored by John Deere, but I know people who are, and they are so scared to talk about it because they would lose their sponsorship. And if you didn't think fake news was true, you have to believe it is because when someone in a media company is afraid to tell the story because they know they'll lose their sponsorship, it shows that the only reason that show is on TV is because those paid people. And so if all the paid people are going and doing a certain thing and you're afraid to cover the story, you have now become part of the fake news network. And I've personally seen it happen. I've been on sets where they're like, best not to cover that. I'm like, understood. And that's it. You don't question it like authority. You don't, if someone tells you not to cover something, best not to do it. And with this show, I'm not afraid to, there's not a whole lot I'm not afraid to talk about. And if you do want to talk to me about something, give us a call, 1-855-737-FARM, email us at info@ATI Pro Media. Uh, but our primary business is helping people in Futures Options LRP. I'm not a politician. I'm not looking for your vote. I don't even care if you don't like me because you took time to watch this show. You must like me enough to either be rooting we succeed or rooting we fail. Either way, Brady, I always enjoy doing this, and we will promise to tell you the best we can, our version of the truth. Back to you, sir.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Tommy. I love what we're doing here, and the transparency of it, and trying to help the American farmer make the decisions they need to make, and present the news in a way where it's facts, not feelings. And you say that all the time. That's a great saying, great motto, and what we're trying to do out here every day. What do we got for the slate of premium, Tommy? Did we
Real
cover
quick,
that yet?
well, someone else stole the show on premium. We have a double batch of premium today. I did spend a little family time yesterday. We get you 6 premium videos, sometimes more, out every week, but I chose family over doing a little premium content. But I got to tell you, after that RNC convention, the premium content today is going to shine. But I found this little tidbit. Actually, Mr. Rick did. This is X moving to Texas, but now a lot of the Elon Musk companies are moving to Texas. I forget what they all are, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. And they are. He just, if politics don't matter, how did the richest man in the world just move all his companies out of California to a different state? So you have SpaceX, you have what he does with Starlink, you have, of course, Tesla, which we all know. Before that, he was part of other organizations, sold them for a sick amount of money. But a lot of moving from California to Texas, from Illinois to Tennessee, from here to there. I just constantly see this theme, and you just can't deny what's happening. All right, premium content. This afternoon we're gonna have Don Wick. I got one other special one lined up. On a side note, I'm going to record today with Tyne Morgan, and that's going to be on U.S. Farm Report this weekend. I will be on RFD TV at 11:45, and of course, be calling clients all day. The weather here in Northwest Indiana has been absolutely beautiful. We've had too much rain. We've gotten those trees cleaned up, but I don't think there's a single person in my neighborhood who has a sprinkler system on their lawn. If they do, they're lazy and should have shut it off because the good Lord's bringing the moisture, right?
I always
And
love that guy it's raining and the
that was
sprinklers are
me
running.
last
That
week.
was that you, Tommy?
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, it was pouring and I had to shut it off. I'm like,
I'm usually
"Oh my
that guy
God."
too.
Yeah.
But I'm building profile moisture. That's what I'm doing. when I
You're
do that.
done. Just watching it run right into the little creek. All right, with that, so we'll have some premium. Folks, if you want to subscribe to premium, we'd love to have you. Big week last week for premium subscribers. We appreciate that. We're grateful. Big week for new accounts. Over the last 5 days, I've had 5 people call me and want to get papered up. Of course, when corn was $7, $8, we were all road scholars, and now as corn comes down, and it's other things that have come down tremendously, we feel less smart. The truth is, your IQ never changed. The price of all grains and all commodities around the world exploded due to several reasons, which could be 10 episodes. We could explain them to you. We're now having a reset period, and it's extremely painful. The most painful thing of the reset period is not the price of the commodity, it's actually the interest rate and the amount of money used to produce those commodities. If you think the price stinks, wait till you see the equity burn over the next 48 months due to lack of understanding how to manage the bushel. I'm in the bushel business, you're in the bushel business and the steak business. Speaking of steak, did you see our good friends at Beyond Beef tanked again, close to restructuring as the truth comes out? Takes a while sometimes, Brady, huh? Takes a while to realize that people really want a hamburger or steak.
Might be a little fake meat, fake news. I don't know.
Mm.
I ain't buying any of it, Tommy G.
No, I have had it, and it's edible. That's all. But speaking of steak, we had I did go to the store last night, and I bought 3 ribeyes and 3 New York strips, and I'm embarrassed to tell you how much they were. Absolutely delicious. Put them on the grill, 3 minutes each side, super hot, seasoned them up. I mean, I couldn't have cooked a steak better. Got them right up to like 128, let them rest for 10 minutes. embarrassed to tell you this, but I got to tell you all this. We took out the cutting board to cut the steaks, and we're
Yeah.
cutting the steaks, and I got 6 plates out. I don't know if anyone used their plate. It was like a bunch of
Just
dogs at a buffet, and the nibblers all showed up, and everyone, one person sat down with the plate. It was actually a gentleman. My daughter's no way, just woof,
uh-huh.
just. So anyway, steak was pretty popular around here yesterday, but
Good deal.
the cost though. I'm lucky I could afford that steak. What if you can't afford steak? What's the next choice? Hamburger?
It's inelastic. I mean, if I want a steak, I want a steak. But at a certain point in time, yeah, you got to travel down the menu and pick something different. Um,
Travel down the menu. I like that.
yeah, but I
Well,
mean, it's inelastic. I want a steak, and you just got to cook that extra steak for those grazers and those nibblers. Like yeah, that's I love that part of cutting it up, picking it off the cutting board.
yeah, we got some hate mail here in the comments. I absolutely love it. It's too funny. Hold on, where'd that comment go? I got to pull this up. This is too funny. Luke, we love Luke. Luke said the crop's in rough shape where he's at. Beyond beef in the garbage where it belongs. God bless, Luke. You are a true American. I'd give you a flag, but I already have, and a sweatshirt and everything. But heck, we might send you another flag. All right, if you're out there and you love America, regardless of your political affiliation, we'll send you a flag. 1-855-737-FARM. Emails info@ATI Pro Media. We'll get you that flag out. Love for you to subscribe to Premium. We got all types of good little things on there. Real quick about Premium. We get a nice email out at 5:36 in the morning. Big thanks to Scott at work who pumps that out. I'm still in bed when he's getting that out. And then we move over to this is free. People are more than welcome to watch. And then we start with texting at various times. Interesting things I'm seeing in the market. I was texting people yesterday. NASDAQ's down 500, Dow's up 200.
Mhm.
Can't exactly give them the why, but I can give them the hey, you should take a look at this. Something may be changing, right? Saturday when President Trump was shot, he was shot. I texted out that President Trump was shot. I had a couple of people say, "Who is this? This is a joke." And no, it wasn't. But we'll get you breaking news. We'll get you today's news today. Then we do the videos, and then on Saturday we have a nice weekly roundup. Not a bad deal for $30 a month and $1 a day. Cotton looks good. Corn and beans, another story. Yeah, always stinks uh, when you're having the problem, right? When the prices are breaking. And we talked about that, God, 4 or 5 months ago, I think on the live stream and Premium. I
Mhm.
said, nothing will hurt you more this year is if you just have an okay crop and the prices break. I mean, the worst thing could happen is to have a subpar crop, not hit crop insurance, maybe hit a tiny bit of crop insurance because of production problem, and the market drops. You're going to be in trouble. So we're going to have a lot of people on the next few days. Over the weekend, I'm going to tape some content with agronomist because I'm not qualified. You are a little bit qualified to talk about that. Should you go and spend a bunch of money to get bushels to sell 350 corn, or should you just back off? That I am not qualified to talk about. I'll be the host, but I won't be the guest on that.
Be
Any
interesting to see.
comments, or just you're gonna
Well, it'd be
take a
interesting to
back
see
seat?
what you get, what the agronomist and the true professional tells you. So always want to let the professional talk and hear their insights and the boots on the ground input in that. But I go back to you're in the bushel business, and we got to raise bushels. And if you're not putting the money in the crop for production, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot a little bit there. But
I'm in the bushel business. I like it.
yeah.
Might be the theme of today's show. All right, I'm going to end it. I got some stuff to do. As always, catch us on Premium. Brady Huck, cattle report tomorrow. We got Mick Care going to do weather first thing. We get that out to Premium people. If you ever miss a show, don't forget to catch us on various platforms. And with that, we will get out of here, assuming I can find the right button. I need
See
to
you
go get
tomorrow.
my new glasses and make sure I'm seeing stuff straight. We hope you're seeing stuff straight. If you have a friend or family or member who you think would like this show, subscribe. Advanced Trading YouTube channel. Forward out this live stream and give us a thumbs up or say on X or anything else that you enjoy the show. It really makes a difference. I'll tell you a story. I watched Joe Rogan the other day, and Luke Bryan, who's become wildly successful, was in the Navy, and he started playing music in the Navy and putting out on Twitter. And he would come back from working all day, working out, doing his Navy job, and he would have 2 or 3 likes. And he said that's what got him to put another song on Twitter. Now he's ranked number 112 on Spotify of all-time listeners right now. So a little encouragement goes a long way. All right, B Huck, Dodge City, Kansas, Time Grisafi, Valparaiso, Indiana. We'll catch you all tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.